Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. If you like making money, please subscribe to the channel. I talk about investment opportunities, I talk about a whole bunch of different things, market conditions, ratio analysis, technical analysis. I'm trying to tie this all together to give you guys the best vantage point or look at possible investment opportunities. And I'm trying to tie this all together, trying to get to see, even for myself, what is out there, what should we be invested in, or what should I be invested in, and to see what the opportunities could potentially pay out. And I've done multiple videos on that stuff. So today I'm going to do an analysis of all these different looks at things for SM Energy, CDEV, we've got ATHOF, which is Athabasca oil. And then I think there was one other one. We'll take a look to see. I think it might have been Callum Petroleum. Can't remember which one I added in there as well. And what I'm trying to do is tie this all together. I want to see, do we have the Elliott wave agreeing with the way that I would do technical analysis? Do we have large patterns breaking out? All that type of stuff. So we're going to do that right now. Let's look at SM Energy. So this is how I analyzed SM Energy. I've got the SM stock up here. We've got a contracting triangle that we're looking for. That's what I've got this circled here. We've got the Elliott wave theory on the right here. We've got the oil price, long-term oil price on the right here as well. I think we are going to see a big fifth wave of oil price coming up during this next commodity bull market. I think that the oil price will be somewhere between $200 and $500 per barrel. That's just from an inflationary standpoint and from a supply demand. Then after some point, we're going to see a large, very, very large correction. We've got SM Energy right here. This is the SM stock pulled from in the early 90s all the way to 2021. And what you can see is a very big move during the last bull market. The bull market was contained within it. This is the bull market contained within it. It's about 98 was the bottom, somewhere kind of like in here. Yeah, probably in here. And it went all the way up through a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the first wave, the third wave, and then the last wave. And this makes sense. Then we had a very large sell-off, a big correction after that. The correction would read A, B, and then C was down here in the corner. And you can also see that we have confluence with a declining wedge pattern. That is the triangle contracting here. That's what we're seeing. And we went in a formation. If you were to look at this formation here, it was a big move. And you can even do all of these little guys if you wanted to. But it's an A, B, C correction. This fits very well with the Elliott wave format. And we're just starting, I think, a new wave one coming on up, which is going to be it's a massive move. So I think we are moving right here. Now this little guy right here, this little lead in, I think is this portion there. So that's the lead in for SM Energy. That's this portion there. And then we have a massive move of move one. This is the first move, and I think we're going to have a little bit of a small pullback, and then I think we're going to lurch way higher. Maybe the third wave might even be bigger than the price back here even. It could be. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So SM Energy looks absolutely fantastic. And when you look at the ratios for oil, oil is cheap to gold. And if you look at gold's price in terms of all these different types of analysis, gold's ratio to the money supply is cheap, gold ratio to stocks is cheap. And looking at Elliott wave, if you draw it a certain potential way, we could be in a third wave of gold, potentially, or potentially not. But this one looks very good to move higher. Now, I also did some analysis on some of the other companies. This is CDEV. It's coming down. And remember, I'm looking for all sorts of information here. I'm trying to tie it all together. What I see here is a cup and handle formation. We've got the cup and then a nice handle forming right now. I think if this breaks this, which it suggests looking at the oil price of where it's at and where oil I think is going to go, where we are in a commodities cycle, where the commodities are priced against stocks, all of this stuff comes together where this thing could potentially break to the upside. And this price projection, if you use this down here, it's probably $40 or $50. That's another 10x from where we're at today. Is it going to do that? I don't know. I even think if we have the potential hit $200, $300, $400 oil, that even $40 would be cheap. So that's looking at this analysis for CDEV. We're putting in a cup and handle pattern. I think we're at the bottom of the handle, and I think we're getting real close to move back on up for CDEV. But we'll see. Time will tell. Now let's look at Athabasca Oil Corp. Another one. I wanted to show you something. This is just looking at something. I'm going to actually bring it down just a hair more. So this is Athabasca Oil Corp. We have a large, I think, cup and handle pattern developing. This is the handle portion of it. Now, if you look at the characteristics of this move here, it matches the characteristics of this pullback as well. So we had kind of a down, up, down movement. We have a down, up, down movement, which is they're both very similar here. Then we had a nice black candlestick there, nice black candlestick here. We could potentially be ready to move on up to create this handle formation. So everything matches. We have confluence of an Elliott wave pullback, which is this pullback here is the matching of this pullback here. And if those moves all match each other and are similar, we do have that similarity. Perhaps we may put a C wave, maybe it goes a hair lower than this, potentially. But we're putting in a handle. And if we break this large move, I mean, the depth of this and where it is up here, it could potentially be a very large move to the upside. And then I also have Contango. I did MCF, Contango Oil and Gas. I'm going to scroll down here, center up on it. What we have here is a little bit different. We do have a move that's back. This is a corrective phase. And there's your lead in here. And then we have a big first wave move up and then the first pullback. And if you look at the downtrend right here, we've got the downtrend line. Remember, this is a weekly candlestick basis. We've got a downtrend. And remember what I always say about downtrend lines. They break and then you usually have a pullback. And what do I do on pullbacks? I buy the pullback. We've got a bunch of volume jumping in here, buying all this stuff. So again, with oil, the oil ratio being cheap to gold, with this chart breaking to the upside of a major downtrend line, the first step is to break it. The second step is to create a higher low. Here's the low here. This is going to be a higher low. The next step is to break this high right here, around 525 or wherever it's at, 550, 525. That creates a new uptrend. This is a big move because this pattern is gigantic. Could it potentially go all the way to $90, $100? Sure, it could. Will it? I don't know. But it has all of the market conditions, ratios, everything's backing it. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the confluence of all the information that I can find that I can find and see what it suggests about the things that we own. It looks pretty good for all the oil and gas companies. Again, we've been seeing very short-term weakness, but that doesn't bother me because I'm looking at the big picture. And hopefully you guys are looking at the big picture like I am right here and saying the big move's about to come. We shouldn't be afraid of the pullback. We should be dominating this pullback and getting in. At least what I'm doing is I'm putting some more money in them, not pulling from them. So I'm actually loading into it still. Remember, the ratio is still cheap. It's at 29.30 to 1. That's dirt cheap for oil on a historical basis. We're breaking major downtrend lines, major. We're putting in cup and handle patterns on everything. SM Energy has a cup and handle pattern. CDEV, CPE, MCF just broke its large downtrend pattern. So the confluence of information, it's all here. Now it's just, you got to sit there, be patient, and wait. And the waiting is going to make you money. If you guys are impatient and you want to sell things and move things, that's when I had problems. So what I'm doing is I'm sitting in these things, waiting for them to appreciate. That's all I'm doing. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.